Those free throws, I know they get overlooked sometimes. I think you missed 6 in a row at one time. Is it just one of those frustrating things that would have let you got back in the game?
And recently we've been shooting free throws pretty well, and just couldn't afford to miss 12 today. I think we could have used those 12 points. But like I said, probably the last 5 games we've been shooting free throws pretty well.
Jacque, I think Sacramento started the fourth quarter on an 18-4 run when you had a largely young lineup out there. In retrospect, would it have helped it had a little bit more veteran presence out on the court at that time?
Well, I think that's part of rotations and part of a team. Those guys had went probably a little bit over 9 minutes the entire third, and so to keep them out there at the end of the third and the fourth and to finish the game, I thought that would have been a little bit too much. But you give a guy like Marcus Thornton credit, whether it's a backup or a starter guard him, his ability to affect the game early in the fourth by making shots. Transition, doesn't matter if I'm a starter or a backup. Second-tier player, doesn't matter, all-star. You pick up a guy in transition, you stop the basketball.
Well, Coach, today, Nick, 2 of 6 today, not many. Most of his shots, came off of offensive rebounds. He's been a big part of the team. Was going into the game, I saw, what did you not go to Nick so much during the game because of the player Tobias, foul, or was it just wasn't getting open? Wasn't too many steps on the floor tonight?
Well, I think a lot of his concentration was on the defensive end of trying to contain DeMarcus Cousins, but I think he did a pretty good job of doing the entire night. We felt we had an advantage at other places, like a Flalo versus McLemore, a Flalo versus Thornton. We felt those were matchups that we could try to go to, and that's part of basketball, just seeing where you have an advantage. But I thought defensively, Nick did some really good things for us tonight.
Jacque, Kyle didn't score, but he gave you guys 15 good minutes. What did you see from his play contributing even without scoring?
He's growing up. He's feeling more comfortable on the floor. He's doing things at a higher rate, good things at a higher rate, whether it's boxing out, whether it's making good passes, whether it's being in the right position, not fouling. And so I think he's progressing as a basketball player.
That starting lineup, I think they had you had 51 points in the first 17, 18 minutes. Did you like the start you got off to? And it seemed like that was your best offensive lineup on the floor.
Well, I think overall our starts was good tonight. I think the shots were kind of spread out amongst the guys who started, and but there was a stretch where I think that second team pushed it to 7 or 8, where they got some turnovers, got out in transition, and did some good things as well.
Coach, down the stretch, you weren't able to convert on free throws, but also it seemed like there was a lid on the rim. What do you tell your guys after a game like that, where it doesn't seem like the ball wants to go in, even though you're getting looks close to the rim?
It doesn't go down to those last 1, 2, 3 plays. That's not what this is about. The margin of error is pretty small, and the transition, the offensive rebound, the missed box out, those plays throughout the course of the game add up. And I think that's a lesson for us. As we continue to grow, those possessions matter, whether it's a swing in confidence for the other team, whether it's a momentum shot, whether it's a deflating possession for yourself. Those possessions throughout the course of the game matter. It doesn't boil down to the last 1, 2, 3 possessions of the game.
Now that Tobias is fully healthy and seems to be in a rhythm, are you inclined to keep him in the starting lineup, or at least give him extended minutes to kind of get a sense of where he is in his development and how he fits in at the 3?
Well, I think overall we'll get a sense of his development, and whether it's starting or coming off the bench. I elected to start him coming off of last game and saw that he played okay and he felt okay after playing 30 minutes. Been a tough matchup tonight for Aaron to start off on Rudy Gage, probably giving up 4 inches to him. And I thought it was a good night for Tobias to get his feet wet a little bit more. And overall, he did some really good things.
What do you see from Isaiah Thomas that was allowing him to really get to his spots and then create for his teammates to get them open looks?
He's a nuisance. He can get in the lane. He's fearless. He can make shots. And I think he just enjoys playing and competing. And you take one of the last possession of the game, we double team Rudy. Rudy does a good job of splitting the trap. He gets it to Isaiah. One bounce, pull up, jumper, made. Make shots.
Coach Victor gave you 12 points off the bench. He limited his turnovers, only had 1. Are there certain aspects of his game that you like seeing him off the bench rather than starting, or is it just you're going to feel it out throughout the season?
Well, we'll put him in different situations. Right now, I want to see him lead that second unit. And so he was on the floor by himself. He was the initiator of our offense. He was the initiator of our defense at the time. And so this was a good night for him to see how he will lead our team and lead that second unit.
Jacque, obviously it's a 48-minute game, but didn't you feel pretty good going in the fourth quarter? You were playing pretty well on both ends, it seemed like. Did you? I know you can't let your guard down, but
I feel
it
good
seemed like you were playing pretty
when
well.
the horns sound, John, and we have more points, and I'm at home with a bag of baked Lay's and a Diet Pepsi. That's when I feel good.
Coach, it seemed, particularly in the second half tonight, you guys found yourselves with the ball sticking on one side of the floor offensively. What did you see in terms of ball movement from your team tonight?
Well, I think the NBA is about matchups, and I think throughout the course of the night we have great movement. Our motion offense is based off movement. At certain points of the game, if we have an advantage, like Andrew on the box, we're going to throw it to him. We don't need movement to throw the ball to the box and see if we can have an advantage of Andrew playing against a guy that we think he can score over. So there are going to be possessions throughout the course of the game, whether it was 1980s when Magic Johnson threw it into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and he was on the down block and he went to the sky hook. There are going to be possessions where you just throw it into your big and there isn't movement. Maybe the movement's off the top where guys are cutting on the weak side. But there's nothing wrong with feeding the ball in the post and get some movement off of that.
What was Glenn's injury there in the third quarter there?
I'm sorry, Ken?
When Glenn went to the locker room there?
I am not sure about that, Ken. All I did was ask, well, was he available? I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to him.
Everyone good? All right, thanks.